Hi everyone, it's Trishna. So I just filmed the November 22nd to November 28th weekly energy reading video, and there were a few interesting themes that came up that I thought would be nice to do additional videos and dive in even deeper. One of those themes is this need this week to become patient around the things that we want to manifest into our life and the transformations that we want to have in our life. And the other message that came through around that is the quicker that we can have that patience, the quicker that we can manifest those desires, manifest that transformation. So I thought it'd be fun to do an oracle card reading around how we can get better at being patient when it comes to manifesting our desire. So this is going to be a manifestation video, it's going to be a psychic video, and it's going to be an oracle card video all wrapped up into one that's going to really help us with that so that we can pull our desires in even faster. Now, I personally am pretty good at being patient around my desires. It took me a long time to get here, but for the past several years, at least 2 or 3 years, I'm pretty good at basically doing my energy work and then just letting the chips fall where they may. And I have definitely noticed that when I'm really comfortable in the waiting phase, that my desires come significantly faster, and not just little ones, but bigger ones as well. And so just some guidance around that before we get into the cards. I guess that basically one of the things that I've done is I have done manifestation work around having more patience. So a lot of times we're trying to do energy work around, or manifestation work around, actually having our desires and having it as soon as possible. But I have done energy work around being more patient with my manifestations, being comfortable in the waiting space. And that alone, I think, is really what did it for me, that really helped me on that journey and therefore improved my manifestations. And of course, I have a few different areas of my life or certain goals where I can be impatient with them, but I would say like 95% of the time, 90 at the least, I'm pretty chill about my goals and just kind of do my work, and then I can detach pretty quickly. So anyways, I definitely have ways to grow in this as well, especially with a few bigger things that I would like to bring into my life at this point. So let's see what the cards and the intuitive messages have to say to help us have more patience when we are trying to manifest our desires. I'm going to be doing a very free flow spread. I'm thinking about only doing 3 cards because I get a lot of messages while I shuffle, a lot of psychic messages, and sometimes it takes a while for cards to jump out. And I want this to be more of a quick lesson. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And I'm using the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. So, how can we be more patient with our manifestation desires? What do we need to know to help us in that, to activate us in that? What messages do we need to hear to help us and activate us, to help us detach from the outcome? All right. Yeah, I feel like in theory, we feel good about it. We're excited. We're like, yeah, I can do the waiting. But in the reality, it can be really stressful. And obviously, if you're in a money situation, yeah, like timing is kind of important. If you really need to pay the bills or something like that, like, you know, it's fair that you really need something to come immediately. But I feel like for a lot of manifestations, we often want it quicker than it really needs to be. Like, we want it now. But does it really have to be now? It's something we want, but is it something that we necessarily need? So if it's not something that we need, exploring why we need it now, why we feel like we need it so badly now, even though we don't actually logically, I think is definitely one way that we can help detach ourselves from whatever our desire is. I think even just in the awareness that it's a want, not a need in this moment, can also help detach and give us some perspective. So perspective, changing our perspective on things will help with being more patient for our desires. And again, when you're being patient for your desires and being okay with that, it doesn't mean that it's going to make it take longer or just as long. It's going to do quite the opposite. When we don't have as much stress, as much weight on needing it to happen now, and we can let that go and release it, well, now we're not pulling on that anymore, and what we want can come to us significantly faster. And again, I have noticed that it's a game changer. It's a game changer. All right, I have 3 cards. I feel like I want to see what else comes up first, though. So maybe we'll do 4 cards. So one thing that can sometimes hang us up is looking at manifestation from a very analytical standpoint. I know I can be guilty of this. I'm getting life as a game. What I mean by this is sometimes we try to manifest something and then we get very analytical about how do I manifest it faster? Why isn't it manifesting faster? What did I do when I manifested? What words did I use? Did I use journaling or did I use a vision board? You know, we get very analytical, trying to piece together, trying to puzzle what we did to get this manifestation so we can then repeat it in a future one. And I think that's fine. Like, there's definitely a learning journey that happens through that, and we learn a lot more about our style and our own subconscious mind, and really working with energy in a way that works with the subconscious mind and doesn't go against it. And when we work with the subconscious mind, then we get things faster. It's smoother because we're not going against the programming that's in there. Of course, sometimes we need to reprogram things, but really working with where we are now. And when we work with where we are now, we can then honor that, and it can take us to the next level because we're not fighting with ourselves. Hope that's making sense. So life is a game. Sometimes we look at it in this analytical game kind of way, trying to figure out what we did, what moves we made, what strategy we did that produced the best results. And I feel like the guidance here is to really just relax. Like, manifestation is not supposed to be difficult. It's something that we do 24/7, every single day. We're always manifesting everything in our reality. It just becomes so much bigger, so much more focus around it when there's something that we want that we don't currently have. And then all of a sudden it seems like we have to learn how to manifest when we're already doing it all the time. It's not about learning how to manifest. It's about understanding that you can already do it. It's already a part of you. So don't be so analytical about manifestation. Just kind of put your intentions out there. Feel good as often as you can. Work on any kind of blocks that you may have, like needing it to happen now. Give yourself a different perspective about what you want. Do you really need to hold so tightly to it, or is it something you can relax about for right now? And when you do that, it's really just going to ease the energy around everything, and it's going to help you embody that patience, and it's going to bring your desires significantly faster. Some of you, as a result of this, may end up getting your desires, some big ones, some important ones, some that you have been stressed about. You may get it before the end of 2021. That is my feel. So let's look into the cards. We have 5. We have in the hand, the universe is your partner. It is the first card that fell out. And how fitting is that? The universe is your partner. You don't have to do it all alone. Please remember that. You don't have to sit there and manifest and manifest and manifest and manifest actively. You are already manifesting. The universe is already helping you. Relax, 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 relax. The universe has your back. It is already taking into account the timing that you want. You don't have to specify it. You don't have to think about it all the time. It already knows the timing that you want. And if you just let it do its part, because you've already done yours, but if you let it do its part, it will deliver, but you have to trust it. You have to trust the universe. You have to trust your teammate here. And you have to trust your teammate if you want to have what you want in life, because it's the only teammate you're going to have. You don't get to choose one. You don't get to pick another one. It is the ultimate teammate. So it is the one you will always have, and it is the ultimate teammate, meaning you can't get a better one. You have the best one. There is no better. This is the best. You have the cream of the crop right here. So just trust it. Netcaster, preparations come to fruition. So you've done the energy work. It will come to fruition, especially if you allow the universe to be your partner. But what if you really can't let go of this patience thing? Or you can't really embody this patience thing? Then put in your own preparations. So sometimes when we have an issue in our life and we want to manifest a solution, sometimes it makes it so much easier when we can come up with a solution ourselves, which may not be the ultimate solution, may not be the best solution, may not be the desired solution, but it's our backup plan. When we have a backup plan, we no longer need things to happen, And the real solution, the beautiful solution, the amazing manifestation we want comes in because we're already a little bit comforted by the backup plan. And remember, the universe is the ultimate partner. You don't have to do all the work. It's going to do most of it for you. So you can just feel a little bit better, a little bit more relaxed, a little like, okay, you know what? If this all goes south, this is what I'm going to do, whatever. Not the best, but cool. I can do that. I can handle that. I have something in my mind that I understand, a way that I can see a backdoor for myself. And just a little bit of shift, the universe is going to pick up all the rest of the slack. So understand that the universe is your partner. Also, if you're having a hard time being patient, come up with some kind of backup plan just to have it, just to give yourself peace of mind. And then you're not going to need things to happen so quickly, so fast all the time. The next card we have is Woodwives, adaptability. Be very open to the universe surprising you. When we open ourselves up to knowing that the universe can surprise us, that it can find a path that we had never imagined before, when we remember moments when that has happened, when we understand that it can happen again and again and again and again, when we allow ourselves to be adaptable and we allow the universe to be adaptable and we open ourselves up to these surprises, it helps us detach from the outcome because it's like, well, anything could happen. I don't know how this can work out. And sometimes not knowing how something's going to work out can drive us crazy. And that's why we get so attached sometimes. But sometimes, if you think about it differently, if we change our perspective, like we got in the intuitive portion, change our perspective on the how. And we think, I don't know the how. And that's cool. That's fun. That's surprising. When we think about it as a cool, fun thing, where we get like gifts and surprises, then we can relax and not needing to know the how. And when we relax in that, we don't need things to happen immediately. We're like, universe, you surprise me. Surprise me. Do me good. You pick this time how it's going to happen. We pick the what, the universe picks the how. The next card is Benefactor, grace and generosity. A lot of times when we are getting very attached to an outcome, it's because we're focusing on it too much. So if we become a benefactor for someone else, if we focus on someone else and helping them out or being there for them or listening to them or spending time with them or buying a stranger a cup of coffee because it's fun and it feels good and it's a cool experiment and you wonder like how it's going to happen and you just want to be a part of that. When we do something out of grace and generosity, when we are a benefactor for someone else, we're now taking our focus off of us and we are putting it on someone else. So we're no longer attaching to our outcome. We're instead being of service to somebody else. When we are of service to somebody else, it makes us feel good. As they say, volunteer work isn't always just about helping other people. A lot of times people feel better when they do something for someone else. They feel good about themselves. So you're increasing your energy. You're helping someone else. You're not thinking about what you want to think about. That is just a recipe of success. Wow. Okay, I'm going to be using this. I have never thought about this in terms of manifestation. You guys, that is a magic trifecta right there. We should just end this. We don't need to look at the last card. All right, we are going to. So, Feast of Plenty. Choices and their consequences. I got so excited about the benefactor that I'm like, okay, what does this mean? All right, Feast of Plenty. Let's pull a clarifying card. For some people, what this may mean is manifest, manifest, manifest. For some people, maybe you only have one or two really big goals that you're trying to manifest. And so that's all you can think about. And therefore, it's hard to be patient because it's just the one or two things that you really want. And it's like, why aren't they here? But if instead you decide, I'm going to try to manifest a bunch of things. Every day I'm going to manifest something new. I'm going to manifest 5 new things. I'm going to put out my intentions. I want to manifest going for a walk. I want to manifest a free coffee. I want to manifest getting a gift. I want to manifest this cool experience happening. I want to manifest getting tickets to this show, but it's being like 50% off. If you just do a bunch of little manifestations and so many that you can't even remember what you're manifesting, then you have like your energy really being like, I mean, this is kind of amazing because if you have these different goals, when you're happy, your energy is just like limitless and it will go into as many of those where the channel is clear. You're just going to like boom, 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 manifestation after manifestation just happening in your life just because you feel good, because you put out all these intentions and you can't even remember them. You can't remember them anymore. Or there's so many that you're no longer just focusing on the two. You're focusing on a bunch. And for some of you, that may work. For others, that may not be the way that you want to go. You may get frustrated. It's like, well, I manifested like 10 things and none of them happened. But for some of you, this may be the way to help you with the patience. When you have so much that you're working on and focusing on, you're not being impatient about the few that you really, really want. So for that, it may depend on the person. For me, it might frustrate. I don't know. I've used both in my life. It kind of depends on my mood. So it may depend on your mood too. So this may be advice for now, maybe advice for later, etc., depending on the person. So that concludes this video. I hope that this helps you be more patient with your manifestations, especially now, because in the weekly reading, I saw that there's a lot of transformation that's happening, but we're just going to get little wins of baby steps in the near future. And the real thing is going to happen in maybe 3 months. So it's going to require patience, but if we can really work with that patience and really honor it and be okay with it and find other ways to channel our energy in the meantime, we could pull that timeline into 2 months or even shorter than that. So, and I was feeling, I think in this reading, that some of you guys could get your desires by the end of this year. So yeah, hope this is helpful. Let me know if there's any other videos or manifestation concepts you want me to share from what I know and my experiences, as well as psychic insights, as well as oracle card insights, and we could definitely do videos on that. And I will see you in my next one.